I'm wondering if it's time to build a new Steam box because you got hands-on with the Valve Steam controller and the Steam. It basically, you did a review of the Steam controller and the Steam Link over, like Steam Link. It seems like two simple words, and yet I'll mess them up every time.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like I've been thinking like, gosh, November, it's going to be time to build a new Steam box, but how's the controller? Do you love the controller?
Well, I mean, so keep in mind, you don't have to use a Steam box to use the controller, right? You can use this on the standard Windows machine, and it will work on any it'll work on any game. It can basically, when you connect it to your machine, it kind of emulates just a regular controller hooked up. It just has some additional functionality when you're using it with Steam. So I mean, the controller is odd, right? I don't know. Had you ever gotten hands-on with any of the iterations of the Steam controller through its development cycle, really?
I have vague memories of some modest fondling at CES, and it looked nothing. Well, I mean, it had buttons and two places to stick your hands, but beyond that, I vaguely remember it being radically different from what it ended up.
I think you and I probably went to the same Steam launch party at CES where they had some hands-on with it. The controller is very different now than it was then. It's much more of a traditional controller look and feel. Like, they didn't have this thumbstick on there before. They didn't have like your traditional buttons. They had touch pads with different regions in them. It has transformed quite a bit. I think they basically realized that you needed to have some semblance of duplicity between this controller and an Xbox or a PlayStation controller in order to accommodate all those existing games that already built in controller support. But there's still a lot of unique features. Like, the build of it is very different. It's hard to really tell on video, but the controller kind of goes down. Like, there's a recess here, so it's a convex instead of concave, like from where your palms are to where your thumbs rest, and it's a different feel. You have these two touch pads on either side. This one has a cross pattern in it, and it kind of emulates a D-pad on a controller. And this one over here is more unique. It really emulates like a trackball feel, and it even has like a haptic feedback on it of kind of like the clicking of a trackball might have. And when you move around it, it's if you keep your finger on it and kind of press, it moves very slow, but you feel that the haptic feedback. If you like swipe it across, you can actually feel in the controller that like it carries momentum with it, right? It has like the ball continues to roll after your hand lets off, and that's kind of an interesting way to play a first-person shooter, right? So the original idea the original idea for the Steam controller was to make a controller that made games that traditionally use a mouse and keyboard easier to play from a couch, right? Easier to play with just a controller in your hand from a couch, because this is when they were starting to roll out Steam Big Picture mode and really start to put the Steam Machine idea forward. And so this is kind of the key to that, is the ability to have a trackball-like functionality that allows you to. It's basically like using a touchpad on a laptop, but you use it with one thumb on this controller. And it works okay. It works pretty well. It takes a little bit of getting used to, for sure. It's very different than using two thumbsticks or using a keyboard and a mouse, obviously. They've also have, there's 3 button sets on the back for left and right. You've got this up here, which is more of your traditional like trigger, like button, I guess. And this is more of your trigger. It's kind of got a fairly long throw to it with a click at the end. And then down here on the back, you have these paddles that shift on either side, right? And they're interesting. They kind of are to be used by your pinky and ring fingers. It's a unique input style. For example, when you're driving a car and you're doing like paddle shifting, for example. The controller, it just feels odd in the hand. It's lighter than I expected it to be, I guess. But in the kind of parts that you hold in your palm are a little bit bigger than I expected them to be. The buttons make a lot of clicking sounds, and sometimes I would say too loud of clicking sounds. Like, if you listen, those are the top buttons, those are the paddle buttons, and then the touchpad has kind of a very distinct springy click sound to it. And if you're wearing headphones or something like that, it's not a big deal. If you're playing with speakers up, it's not a big deal. But chances are that's going to be more noticeable than what you have on a current Xbox 360 or PS4 controller. But it works well. And what I need to do is I need to like kind of force myself to play games with this for a week or 2 weeks or something to really get a handle on it. But it's very different than anything else out there, and I have a feeling that's going to be an immediate off-putting thing for the majority of users that put it in their hand, especially considering like Microsoft just released their like their Elite controller today for the Xbox One. It's $150, but it's like a traditional controller with a lot of modularity and stuff to it. This is $49, so it's much more in line with the classic Xbox 360, Xbox One, or PS4 controller. And it will work with the Steam Link device. It'll work with Steam machines. It'll work with your normal PC, you know, through Steam. It's just a matter of getting people to try it and really adopt it, right? This is not a device that I'm recommending to people go out and buy. And oh my God, it's going to revolutionize how you play PC games. That much is for sure. But I think it has the chance to do some interesting stuff, right? And I think the more games kind of build up for this, they kind of target this controller for their game styles, maybe adjust control schemes a little bit because of it, we might see some advantages from it.